I've been sleeping every night in the desert. Up here in the northwest corner of Saudi Arabia. It's quiet up here. All you can hear is the wind and the sand that it whips off these endless dunes. But not far from where I sleep, there's a new sound. For years, I've been hearing about this trillion-dollar futuristic city that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is building atop this sand. They're calling it Neom, and they're investing a huge amount of their vast oil wealth into making it come to life. I've been hearing about all the reasons it can't work, how this is all just a mirage of royal ambitions. And yet, even from space, you can see that they're building it. They're building something. Why would anyone try to build a futuristic city in a barren desert? That is a question I've had for a very long time, and one I intend to get to the bottom of. So I'm going into Neom to see what it looks like, to get a sense of its scale. We're looking at this fleet of dump trucks. The amount of construction activity is insane, and it hasn't stopped as we've been driving along the line. The magnitude, I've never seen anything close. They're building mountains out there. I'm joined by my friend Salim, who was born in a tent out here. He knows this desert better than anyone. Every dune, every valley. All the secret water spots hidden deep in red rock slot canyons. I asked Salim to bring me out into the desert, not only to get up close on the construction of Neom, but also to show me how people live out here, to introduce me to members of his tribe, how they've survived for centuries. Nomadic Bedouin, who represent the origin story of this desert kingdom. I wanted to put a human face to this collision of worlds, old and new. I believe this little shape on the map represents the story of Saudi Arabia, where it came from, how it got here, and why it is attempting to build these cities in the sand. I'm officially in Neom, and let me tell you what I'm seeing so far. Trucks, trucks, trucks. Dump trucks, cargo trucks. Trucks carrying excavators, trucks carrying more trucks. I've never seen so many trucks in my entire life. Oh, and these roads, a lot of them are brand new. A lot of them don't even show up on Google Maps. Like, I'm looking at my phone and I'm just sort of floating in no man's land because these are all brand new roads. This is new. Everything is popping up so quickly. There's so many trucks. All of a sudden, Salim turned off one of these pristinely new roads. What? Damn. It's gorgeous. Okay, now we're really in the desert. We found a little canyon to camp in. And while I thought we'd be eating granola bars or canned soup, Salim had other plans.
Did you try camel meat before? You try tonight.
لحم حاشي. Hashi is the young camel.
Rice with camel meat.
The evening tradition here is to wind down with a cup of coffee. Saudi coffee is unroasted and green, infused with cardamom. It's a different taste. I like it though. But it's still very caffeinated. Oh, and then after the coffee comes... thank you. Which, again, is very delicious, but how can they drink so much coffee before bed? Yeah, I can't drink too much because the caffeine, I won't be able to sleep. In the morning, I'll drink a lot of it.
Okay.
Wow. That's good. So until what age did you live in the desert?
Maybe until 7.
Till 7.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's so rare to find families, real families living in the desert. And the people that we are going to, they are real Bedouins. But when we moved to the city, I study. I go back.
Oh, you go back to the desert?
Yeah. Even for me, I like to have a job in the city, but I want the Bedouin life.
Yeah.
I want them to stay.
Soon we'll meet the Bedouin nomads who sleep under these stars every night. Look at this night full of incredible stars. The Saudi desert is proving to be exceptionally peaceful, despite the army of trucks that, by the way, are still working here in the dead of night. They don't ever stop, and haven't for years. It is so silent here. My brain doesn't know what to do about it. It's so silent and... But as the sun rises and Salim feeds me dates and green coffee, oh, and of course, more tea, I'm thinking about my mission for today. My plan is to drive all throughout Neom, to all the big construction sites, and show you what they're planning on building out here with their initial budget of $500 billion, which has since ballooned to an estimated $1.5 trillion. And you're about to see why. So I made it to the coast, and I'm looking at the beautiful Red Sea, which is a very beautiful kind of blue, in fact.
This is Oxygen, the place where ideas can change the world.
Oxygen is planned to be their futuristic industrial city, half of it built on the water. It'll be a port where shipping can connect the world to a bunch of high-tech manufacturing, research, and logistics. And then there's Sindala, which is going to be right here on the Red Sea. It's going to be a luxury resort island with plenty of parking for yachts. We picked up a hitchhiker who has been working on Sindala for years. How's it looking in Sindala?
Finished like 99%.
Really?
Yeah.
Sindala. And then there's Magna, which is actually the name of one of these coastal villages we've just been driving next to that is no longer a village. They've forcibly relocated thousands of people for this project. Atop the ruins of these villages, the kingdom is building 12 luxury coastal resorts and communities. Hey, just one quick clarification here. All of those visuals are 3D renders. They are visualizations done by Neom to see what they want this to look like. This stuff doesn't exist yet, and I think that maybe is obvious, but it looks so real that I just want to make crystal clear. I'm showing a lot of this stuff from the hypey promo visuals that have come out from Neom. So that's one thing. Also, check out some of this footage I got while I was on a dune. I was floating around on this dune. This is me shooting from the drone, but suddenly, on the other side of this massive dune, there are these green circles. When I was planning my trip to Saudi Arabia, I got really interested in these things, but that has nothing to do with Neom. So I hopped on the phone with my new colleague, Christoph, and asked him to go down the deep dive rabbit hole of why there's a bunch of green circles in the Saudi desert. And he did so, and he made an entire video about what he learned. That video is live right now on our new channel, Tunnel Vision. I think you're gonna like it. And before we get back to the story of Neom and I show you the Bedouin and show you the rest of this video, which is a total monster of an edit, I need to tell you about today's sponsors. Sponsors are how I'm able to do this, how we're able to spend months and months and months constructing such a massive video. Today's sponsor is Rocket Money. Thank you, Rocket Money, for sponsoring today's video. A while back, I discovered that I had been subscribed to a bunch of newspapers. I report on stories all around the world, and I often subscribe to newspapers in other countries to read their content while I'm reporting on that. And then when I move on, I forget that I'm subscribed. And I'm quietly paying $4 a month or something to these newspaper subscriptions, and I've forgotten about them. Rocket Money is a tool that allows me to easily see all of these subscriptions at once and cancel them with just a few taps. It's free to download this app, and you get a bunch of these features, one of those features being bill negotiation. So a lot of people are paying too much for their internet, and Rocket Money knows this and will negotiate for you to try to lower that bill. With Rocket Money, you can also create customized budgets in seconds. The app shows you where your money is going at all times and identifies top spending categories with insights on how you can stay within your budget better. It's kind of like a smart budgeting app that allows you to easily cancel subscriptions, negotiate your bills down, and budget your finances in a smarter way. Pretty cool product. They've saved customers up to $740 a year, over $500 million total in canceled subscriptions. I mean, there's a lot of businesses getting rich off of you forgetting about the subscription. So if you want to join 5 million other people who are using Rocket Money and start saving money and getting insight into your personal finances, you should check out the link in my description. It is rocketmoney.com/Johnny Harris to get started on some of these features for free. You can also unlock all of these features with their premium subscription. So thank you, Rocket Money, for sponsoring today's video. There's a lot more to this video, and this is where it starts to get pretty juicy. So let's dive back into the story of Neom and the Bedouin of Saudi Arabia. Built on some pretty wild designs, ideas, and concepts, including
a vast subterranean digital community inside a mountain. Magna, the coast of Neom.
Yeah, right there's perfect.
طول عمرك الله يسعدك دائما شاء.
And then there's Trojena, up here in the mountains. Yes, there are big mountains here. It's going to be a luxury tourist destination for adventure and wellness retreats, complete with an artificial lake and outdoor activities like mountain biking and skiing. Yes, I just said skiing. Up here in the mountains, it gets kind of cold in the winter and snow falls. Definitely not enough for skiing, but enough for them to make fake snow and make ski slopes. They're building a man-made lake. In fact, they're doing it right now. I'm looking up at the mountain and seeing the plumes of smoke from the dynamite that they're using to do whatever they need to do to build an artificial lake. Oh, and by the way, that's the mountain where Moses talked to God and got the 10 Commandments like a few thousand years ago.
There is no freedom without the law. Who is on the Lord's side?
Welcome to Trojena, the mountains of Neom.
This is all so strange. And then, of course, the one you've maybe heard about. And yes, it's being built. I've been driving along it all morning, and I can't really fathom what I'm seeing. I continue to have my mind blown by the scale of this. They say the line is going to be a futuristic city that stretches 170 kilometers and run on renewable energy and artificial intelligence. They want 10 million people to come live here, like a whole New York City of people inside of this line in the desert. Just the digging alone, the amount of earth that they're moving is jaw-dropping. The magnitude is like they're building mountains out there and moving so much earth. Now, I thought I had seen a lot of trucks before, but as I drove along the line, I started to get slightly dizzy, having a hard time processing the scale of all of this. All of these machines working non-stop, every hour of every day for years, moving sand, making mountains, and carving a straight line into the desert. All of this seems impossible. So much of the reporting on Neom has been focused on how implausible, expensive, and delusional this project is. And that's all well and good if that's what you want to focus on, but to me that's not that interesting. What I'm most interested in understanding is why. We found a little cave last night and camped here. Salim invited some of his friends out. Hey guys, how's it going? This is so cool, right? We all sat around the fire, me listening while they laughed and joked in Arabic. And then began cooking yet another delicious meal. This time goat, cooked in goat milk with flatbread. Wow, this is awesome. Yeah. That's wow, no good. I'm admittedly a little groggy after sleeping a few nights on the desert floor. We're just sledding down a massive dune in a car, and it's as smooth as butter. Where they're making trojena, it's gonna be kind of crazy to have skiing in Saudi Arabia, right? Yeah.
That's like a hiking trail.
Yeah. Really?
But with this, no, this is new.
Today, Salim is introducing me to members of his tribe. Is this them? Hello. It'll be the polar opposite of yesterday's tour through Neom's construction. He put on his traditional Saudi clothing so as not to surprise the members of his tribe that he has indeed become a modern city man. We arrived to a remote patch of desert where a few tents are set up. The elder of this family warmly invites me in, Johnny, hi, to sit for coffee. And then, of course, more tea.
Wow.
And at this point, I'm just embracing the caffeine. They tell me that the only Westerners they've ever seen out here are the ones looking for oil, and that it's very strange to see me showing up to learn about their culture, and especially with a camera.
هو شغال تصوير.
صور كل شيء. ما شاء الله تصور تقرا عن النوم.
لا ما عليك. هو الطلب عليك أنت ترى.
So how long have you lived here?
كل شهر هيك.
This is 2 months here.
Months?
Yeah.
Wow.
And this
كلام
location.
جديد يعني مو مكان ثابت. يعني مناسب للحالات.
I got to meet their animals, extended members of this nomadic family. So this family's been here on this site, and they'll move again when the season tells them to. They basically are here grazing their camels and their goats. And God, they've got a beautiful view. Oh my God, those mountains. So wait, he's the shepherd? You're the shepherd?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. Do you ever get lost in the desert? No. He's a pro. He's a pro on that donkey. These people's lives depend on moving these animals through the desert in search for scarce food. A theme I hear from a lot of people who live out here is the just sense of peace and simplicity that they get, that they realize that the city could never bring. What do you like about out here that makes you stay?
حب البداوة أنا أحب البداوة والنفاهة كويسة ما في مروحة كهرباء في من رب العالمين.
So when you go to the city, city no. This is a better life. Man, this sunset is gorgeous. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Make it real then. As the group faces east to perform their fourth of 5 prayers they do each day, I'm looking west. Just over those mountains, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is digging a giant line in the sand. Working day and night to reshape this desert, building their high-tech eco-city. For most of its history, this was the way of life out here on this peninsula. And it may have remained such to this day, but eventually the Bedouin on this peninsula united, and unbeknownst to anyone, was sitting atop a sea of black gold.
Oil in commercial quantities averaging about 200,000 barrels a day. To handle this huge volume, the expanding program requires an increase of permanent personnel to a total of more than 15,000 Arabs.
Oil changed everything. The kingdom rapidly modernized.
The king sees the oil development as the greatest single means to modernize his country and improve the living standards of his people.
All while still maintaining a deep connection with Islamic law and the rules and norms of Bedouin life. And despite this rapid modernization, hundreds of thousands of people still maintain the nomadic lifestyle. It is a link to their past.
They are talking about something that they see it these days. The people traveling by
cycling.
Yeah.
The conversation goes into the night, and I knew I had to ask them about Neom. Can you ask them what their thoughts are on all the building that's happening? I have to be sensitive here, because I'm reminded where I am. Saudi Arabia isn't a place where citizens, nomads or not, can speak critically about their kingdom. I got nervous looks and vague answers. But one thing is for certain, that the Saudi government has been paying and compensating anyone who has been affected by these projects. Out of respect, I decide not to push it. It's not worth it.
لا وانتم فيكم خير وبركه والله ما احنا جايين نجربكم ولا
كل شيء موجود الحمد لله.
We're sitting around a huge platter of camel meat and fragrant rice. So where I'm from, there's no camels. No camels. I've never seen a camel until yesterday. The elder generously showing his hospitality by finding the juiciest chunks of camel meat and fat and passing them to me. Thank you. Yeah. And I'm realizing that this moment is a glimpse into one of the oldest surviving cultures on Earth. Thank you. The family invites us to sleep near their tent.
Another night, another sky full of stars.
I'm really feeling it. Just how fast the change has come to this desert, where nomads whose movement and lifestyle hark back to the earliest civilizations, and who are now living a stone's throw away from the construction of a futuristic city that is attempting to define the next chapter of human civilization. It feels like too much to process. I couldn't help but feel worried for this link to the past.
بدو
Uh-huh.
والله دقنا فلوس نلعب
So oil transformed this desert, but soon a problem began to arise. Slowly, the world has started coming to terms with the reality that burning oil to run our world is turning the planet into a place that's not conducive for human life. The International Energy Agency predicts that the world will hit peak oil demand in 2030, at which time demand will start to fall. Other predictions say it'll take longer, but everyone agrees that the future of this world is not oil. This is bad news for Saudi Arabia, a country that has nothing but oil.
Aramco, the state-owned oil company, second quarter profits there tumbling by more than a third from last year's record highs.
Oil transformed this desert kingdom into a modern, powerful country. And in order for them to retain that status, they're going to need to use the money from that oil to transform themselves again. Enter Neom. Saudi Arabia wants to replace its oil economy with new economies, new industries, some of which they want to invent. This kingdom that has been historically closed is now open, welcoming tourists for the first time.
Welcome to Arabia. Get your visa now.
Let's go to Sandala. Are here.
Hoping to attract the world. This is something neighboring Dubai has done successfully.
The spirit of Dubai.
But Saudi Arabia plans to do it on a whole new level. I'll tell you one thing. The water here is beautiful. On that note, I was surprised at how welcome I felt here. Every person I met greeted me with kindness, an eagerness to show me their culture. But it's not just about tourism. Neom is manufacturing, sustainability technology, sports, education, media, and even an attempt to reinvent cities themselves. They also want to use all this oil money to stay on top of global energy. All of this hot sun is great for solar energy. And while driving around, I saw endless fields of wind turbines. And they can use this to make new forms of hydrogen energy that they can ship around the world. And the reason why all these promo videos look like a Hollywood movie is because they can't do this without investors from the outside world.
مشروع ذا لاين هو ثورة حضارية للإنسان تضع الإنسان أولاً.
They need people to come live here.
So my husband got offered a job for Neom in Saudi Arabia, and we decided to make the move.
They need them to play here, raise children here, somehow have a life here. And most crucially, to invest in these projects.
And what are we calling it? The line. The line. The line.
So not unlike a startup, Neom is pitching the world on this impossible sounding vision with the hopes that people will buy it, invest in it, and make some version of it a reality. So do you feel excited about Neom?
Yes.
Yeah? Why?
I wouldn't do this business without Neom. Before Neom.
Wow.
Everyone wanna check on internet what is Neom. Then they need a tour guide. They have more than 30 tour guides working with me.
Wow.
So it's a big business now, and it's all because of Neom.
So while Salim is seeing the benefits of this project, the effects for others in this region are less certain. We're driving by some of the towns that have been demolished. The people forced to move to make way for the construction of Neom. They were given money to rebuild their lives somewhere else. But some refused to leave, signing a petition to protest this forced eviction. One even posted to social media voicing his outrage. A risky move in a place where freedom of speech isn't really a thing. Soon, he was locked in a shootout with security forces that left him dead.
This is when Saudi officials reportedly handed over the body of Abdul Rahim al-Huwaiti to his tribe. His family denies the official narrative that Abdul Rahim was a terrorist.
At least 47 other villagers were detained on terror-related charges, and 5 of them are now on death row. The scale and riskiness of these projects speaks to the scale of Saudi Arabia's challenge. They need something to keep them afloat after oil goes away, so they're betting the family farm on a few massive projects. Many will likely fail, but even if a few of these work out as planned, it could be their next oil. Lifting this kingdom into the future. That's the calculus here. But what's clear is that this kingdom isn't stopping anytime soon.